What's up out there? It's the Relentless Hope Podcast with David Cravens and my beautiful heart wife.
Listen, Boomhauer.
Hi there.
Hi, David. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. What is your name, young lady?
My name is Jonna.
My wife, Jonna Cravens, over there. We're back again. We want to thank everybody who's been watching us, liking and subscribing and doing all that and buying this clean cause, which we've had really good feedback, a lot of support from our people.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah, much love to everybody. There's not one person who has purchased it, and not just saying it because I was threatening them, but they were like, really, no, that's a joke.
Seriously, everybody loves it.
Everybody loves it. The jitters,
Nick
the
Ayler,
crash.
Big Country.
Yeah, Big Country, Nick, Elliott. That's just the three I could think because they made videos. But everybody who else had bought it has liked it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So cleancause.com, description in the link below. You can get on there. If you put in Relentless Hope, you'll get a discount. Go on there and get you some clean energy. If you're trying to change up, or maybe coffee gives you the jitters, or maybe energy drinks make you not feel a certain way.
Coffee.
Yeah, this girl likes coffee.
What makes an ordinary day extraordinary? It's not about holding on to what you know. It's about letting go. Take the leap beyond the familiar. Find what you're searching for. Here's to connection, to exploration, to being alive in the moment. That's what makes a day extraordinary. Behind every ripple and every splash, something refreshing is brewing.
And I give it to her when she's being mean to me. I said, baby, come here and get you one of them Frappuccino. And I get her one of them Starbucks, about 14. I got to take a loan. You on my child support.
So stupid.
No. But anyway, thank you guys for sharing this and liking it. It's been awesome. How you doing over there, Miss Diana?
You feeling better yet?
She got the thumbs up. She's feeling better now. She's getting back at it. But we love Miss Diana. It's a highlight of our week to come and see her. Yeah. I don't think she realizes that, but we love coming here, being here. She makes us smile. Yes. She does an awesome job. We're high maintenance because we got to put drinks down, and she's got to turn cameras and put tape and coasters. Also, nice, you guys, it's getting closer to vote Tim Jarrett. Make sure you're paying attention to what's going on in your local elections.
Yeah, Naples people.
That's right. I know I sound like a broken record, but he is the man for the job. He's trying to keep elections straight. He's got integrity. Watch the music video. It was fun doing that. But we love Tim, and for real, get out and vote Tim Jarrett.
Come on.
That's right. That was paid for by Tim Jarrett.
Let me start singing.
Vote Tim Jarrett. But no, so how things been, babe?
Yeah, a little better this week.
Yeah, a little better.
Slowed it down a little bit.
Back at it.
Yes.
Doing our thing.
Doing
our thing. Yeah, got new music videos going to be coming out, new songs. Podcasts are still cranking.
Yes.
The next episode, after this episode, we will have special guests.
Yes.
It's going to be a husband and wife, somebody who's been in the music game for a while.
Another female.
And then she's so happy because it's going to be another female and a wife to interview. So we're looking very forward to that. So be on the lookout. Make sure you hit that bell. Go to the relentlesshopemusic.com to get you some of this fly merch. You can say what you want, but you can't knock our merch now. We come correct when it comes to that.
Come on, them jerseys are fire.
Yeah. So go get you a t-shirt, get you that, get you some clean calls, support it. So today, let's talk about how the dice fall. Like none of us know. I was reading a devotion in the Bible, and it came to me. This is out of the Life Recovery Bible. That's the Bible I read. It's because it's geared towards. I hate to say people in recovery because I'm not like recovering and my arm's still broke, but they call it that. But people who've had a drug past,
I think it just breaks it down.
Relationships, So. But it says, we may throw the dice, but the Lord determines how they fall. That's Proverbs 16:33. And that's so true. You know, there's been so many times that I'm like, I'm going to do this. And
Yeah.
I throw the dice,
Right.
and the Lord has a whole different plan for us.
And sometimes we don't follow in that, you know?
Oh,
We
no.
like to take the long way.
I've
And
crapped out a lot.
why? Why do we do that?
You know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
thrown the dice and crapped out, and God's made it, you know,
Yes.
7 and 11, you know?
Redeemed you.
It's even like that when it comes to, like, say, music. So there for a while, I'll say last year, a year ago, 2 years ago, I took this. We went on the tour.
Mhm.
That was cool. We went on tour, got to see some people's lives change. And then I got disgusted with some Christian musicians. I'm
Mhm.
just throwing out there some Christian,
Being honest.
some different people kind of turned me a certain way about some stuff. And a lot of it was me, God trying to work things out in me. But
Usually is.
yes, most of the time. And, you know, so we throw the dice, like we say, hey, we're going to do music. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing, right? I'm just going to do my
Yeah,
own
because
thing.
so many times we're like, what lane
Yeah.
are we
Well,
in?
we
Because we don't fit.
yeah, we
any
kind of had to
these.
make our own lane. I'm not saying that we're doing anything new underneath the sun. There's other
No.
people that do semi country rap, semi
Yeah.
whatever we
But
do.
we kind of have our own
You know, we
style.
kind of do our own thing. But I was like, you know what? Now I'm not even, you know, I'm not a Christian rapper. I went through this whole thing, and I still don't know if I'm a Christian rapper. I don't even know if I'm a rapper, maybe a quarter of a rapper. But I threw the dice, but it's crazy. And if you're on a journey out there and you think, oh man, I got off of the way that I started, you know, let's say for instance, you're like, my goal was I just want to see as many people's lives change
Right.
as with this music. And then you've seen maybe some success, or maybe, you know, you started doing a different genre, or you got some people in your corner and doing
Right.
this. It's okay to turn your mission back and head back where you are. Sometimes we take detours
Mhm.
because the road's blocked off and you
Right.
got to go, you know, they're building houses out where we live and there's trucks blocking stuff. And I'm trying to get
Detour.
here and I got to take a detour and go over a swamp, down to Granny's house, jump a stump, turn right to get 2 minutes. Right.
Yes.
But I still got to my destination. I just had to take a few detours. So,
A little longer.
you know, we threw the dice but the Lord determines how they fall. He's putting people in our path that, you know, there was a vision I had a long time ago after Pastor Michelle, shout out Pastor Michelle, said, you know, you guys are probably going to do a marriage ministry. And I started laughing because we had divorce papers drawn. And I said, I'll never talk to her again as long as I live.
A few other choice words in there.
Yeah, I probably said some cussers. But I threw the dice and the Lord determined how they fall because he knew I loved her and he knew what his plan was. And he knew how our story would touch people. We get messages.
Yeah.
People call us, man, your story inspires us. We were going to get divorced and you guys made it through and we didn't even do half of that.
Yeah.
You know, so, but, you know, my overall thing is to do a marriage conference, our style,
Yes.
geared towards, you know, and geared towards anybody that wants to better their marriage, but
Yeah.
it might not be for everybody. And I believe that's going to come through. And I'm not, John will tell you, I'm not a halfway thinker. I like to think stuff and people are like that. Yeah, that's ever going
Outside
to
the
happen.
box.
Yeah. I'm like,
That's
I
what
want
makes
a
you
big
you.
name speaker. I know who I want there. I know
Yes.
how I want to do it. I know how I want the praise and worship to
You know,
be.
the
I know how the
families we
weekend,
wanna
the events,
target and
all that
focus
kind
on.
of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I went off of the course. Not I, you're with me. I mean, we both kind of
Yes.
decided because we were like fed up about some stuff.
Yeah.
And then we've turned our course back
Mm-hmm.
because even though we roll the dice, God determines how it falls.
That's right.
And I'm trying to learn that in my life. Like I throw the dice and I'm like, this is where I'm going. And then God's like, you know, all kind of pats me back around
Come on over here, Davey.
and turns me back in.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take on that, babe? How do you feel like where we've went and then we've leaps and bounds?
Yes.
Like there's things taken off that I didn't see coming as quick as it's coming.
Yeah.
And we've had to say no to a lot of stuff just because with work, and we talked about that last time.
Yes.
But we're going to be saying yes to a lot of things. Things are going to change and go. So what's your take on that? Like how the dice fall and what our mission is and our vision and
I think that's such a relevant scripture because so many times, I mean, for me, I'm just kind of, it's like, well, I'm here for your support. I'm here for whatever.
Yeah, but
whatever you think that we're supposed to do. But although, yeah, I have goals and I have dreams and I have, you know, people that affect me and that I want to reach and stuff. So in that, our mission is together, you know, but Yeah, I think I was kind of frustrated. Well, first of all, I mean, I started rapping because I knew your words. We all know how that kind of happened. And then I really didn't think of myself, as a rapper or I'm really doing anything. I'm just playing the background to you, which I was fine with, but then you're kind of like, all right, you got to step it up. And then that made me realize, okay, I do need to step it up. And then you meet all these people that you impact, which is the whole reason why we do what we do.
Right.
And then it lets you know, okay, there's so much more to this. This isn't about getting on a stage and rapping. There's just so much more to our mission and our story and what we're
Yeah.
trying to do. So I think it's just staying focused in that, because it's so easy, like you were saying, to go left or go right or take detours, or go skiing in the Alps. It's so easy to do that, but just to know that, all right, this is our mission, this is our calling, and it's not always so much our timing,
Right.
right? It's God's timing. So maybe we weren't ready for this yet.
Right.
And just kind of understanding that and not always just wanting what we want when we want it, how we want it.
Right. Yeah. And that's true too. Also, I think a lot of it's maturing too.
Yes.
Like, I'm still very immature in certain ways. And I think that's a whole thing about relationships and growing. Like, you might be in 9th grade on something. I'm in 3rd grade,
Right.
and you might be in 11th, and I'm a senior. Like,
Right.
all these different things. And I think celebrating each other's strengths,
Yes.
as versus thinking that they're
You're better than
against,
they are.
or fighting over somebody's strengths. Like they
Yeah.
say, I think I've said this before. Like, the thing that attracts you to somebody later on becomes the biggest problem.
So true.
Our most problems in marriage or relationships are good things that are mistiming and miscommunicated about.
Right,
Kids,
right.
money, time, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I think going through what we're doing is maturing, right? Like,
Yes.
we wasn't ready because we had to mature. Like,
Yeah.
there's some things
Or
that
die to
I couldn't have
self.
handled 5 years ago,
No.
3 years ago, 2 years ago, a
Right.
year ago.
Right.
And it's funny, somebody said something to me, Zach Ayapa, shout out Zach Ayapa. He said, man, this comeback, because he's seen me fall, come back, fall,
Mhm.
come back, highlight of doing music, fall, come back. He said, it's been your best one yet, I believe.
Mhm.
And God's really going to use you, and it meant a lot to me
Yeah.
because, I've let a lot of people down.
Yeah.
So I think we had to get mature in
Mhm.
our relationship.
Our relationship,
Yeah.
number one.
Our relationship with Jesus, obviously.
Yeah.
And then our relationship personally as parents and husband and wife,
Right.
and as musicians, and how serious what God's entrusting us.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people get on this mission, and I've seen this in a lot of young artists, and they're anointed and they're getting
Yeah.
out here rapping, and they don't really have a clue what God's entrusted them with. And that's why you see crazy things happen.
People are so easily influenced.
Yeah. And so I think it's time that we're going to be doing some things, you know what I mean? And I've given it up to God. I'm like, God, I'm throwing the dice out there,
Right.
but what I need to walk in the full thing that you want us to do.
Right.
My wife and I and my family.
And the saying, God always opens the doors, and it's so true. And you have to walk through them, and that's very true. And I think it's believing in ourselves enough. I think both of us always have this self-confidence issue. That's another thing we have in common.
Imposter syndrome.
That we're not good enough, or
really
things,
us.
Yeah.
I mean, I still deal with that every day.
Yeah.
Really me. Like, it's crazy. Like a couple weeks ago or whatever it was, when we were talking about how, we had to let an employee go, and we were working and trying to get back into the groove of it, which we still are.
Right.
But, I started battling. Like, I felt like a Dana depression coming on. Like, man, here you go. See, this is what you're meant to do. You ain't da-da-da-da,
Yeah, you start getting in that rut of,
in your mind.
I'm always gonna have to be in the truck.
Yeah, if I don't do
working.
this, I don't,
But it's just a temporary setback,
yeah.
right?
It's not even a setback.
It's a temporary setback.
I don't look at it as a setback, because there's so many people that would love to be working and making money. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I don't look at it as a setback. I look at it as, what is God trying to sharpen on me that I need to be doing this? You know what I mean?
I look at it as God trying to get us to balance things, because here's the thing is, you can't always rely on people.
Mm-mm.
And we've been taught that so many times, you know,
Mhm.
and then you think that, oh, well, I'm the only one that can do it. Well, that's not true. We're not the only ones that can do it.
Right.
It's just finding the right person
Yeah.
and trusting God that he's going to bring us the right person. So in the meantime, you know, we start doing what we've always done is
Mhm.
working, and it's just balancing. It's just realizing working out, it's very important,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Podcasts, very important. Our music, very important. Our kids, very important. All these things, you know, I'm not
Sometimes.
putting in the
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I'm not putting in the
Mm.
order, but I'm just putting the specifics out there. So, and it's I think God's trying to teach us to balance everything, and we don't have to cram everything in one day,
Mm-mm.
right? We don't have to do
We
5
think
jobs
we
in
got to
one
get it
day.
all done. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous because then you're tired. It affects so many different things, right?
Facts.
So I really feel like that's what God's just trying to teach us.
Yeah, I believe, and also, you know, another thing is I put it out. I'm like, are you trying to, you know, am I dependent on Dave taking care of himself, or is God saying, hey man, it's time to do this, this, or this?
Right.
And that's where I'm at with that. That's what brought me to the whole
Dice.
rolling the dice thing, because I was doing a devotion, I was praying, and I was like, man, God, what do you want me to do?
Right.
Like, and a lot of it, I was feeling sorry for myself, like, you know. If you think of your relationship with God or whoever you choose to believe in, I believe in Jesus. If my relationship to you was always, what can you do for me? You know what I mean? Never, nothing.
Self-centered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what we do to God.
It is.
It's like we don't just wake up
Oh,
and
I
say,
need you
hey, God, yeah,
now,
God,
right?
why is this going on? But I was like having a heart to heart with God. I'm like, man, what do you want me to do? Am I doing too much? Am I trying to be something I'm not? Am I, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the whole imposter thing. Do we really need to go do podcasts?
Right. Is it really that important?
It's music. Do I need to be doing music videos and music? Then you'll get somebody like Storm, or you'll get somebody else that says, hey man, I got Jesus and Relentless Hope, or whatever they say. Then it just like fires me all up to say, this is what I'm doing this for.
Because you know that you're making an impact.
And I
right?
believe, you know, I'm at this thing where I'm like, God, okay, what do you want me to do? And I believe this coming year, going in, you know, to the new year, there's going to be a change one way or the other, you know, and we're seeing some things change.
Seeing some growth.
Yeah, we're seeing some growth. There's, you know, people are starting to follow us. We're getting things. We're seeing things moving. People are reaching out. People, you know, it's almost one of those things like, you know, like when Nevaeh started driving, you're like, can I go to Walmart? I'm like, call as soon as you're in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Call, you know, but you gotta let your kids make their own mistakes. You gotta let the kids learn in life that it isn't always fair. You can't always coddle them, because when bad things happen and you're not around,
it's real life.
They can't do it, right?
You gotta handle it.
And so I'm at this thing like, God, what do you want me to do? And I believe in the new year, we're gonna see transitioning that we've been wanting to see for a while, but maybe we were too scared, and we were trying to control things.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, even just look at our lives.
We were holding the dice.
Okay, like a perfect example is Brianna, our daughter Brianna, our 27-year-old. Shout out to Bree. So
Bree's
proud of
doing
you.
good. Yeah, she's been there putting it in there for a while.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see her next month. But like for me, being a mother, it was, I mean, you know, so hard for me. Sleepless nights and always looking at the phone and worrying and looking at the news, and Bree making the decision to go was kind of like a perfect example for me. It's like, okay, I can't control this, right? This is between Bree and Jesus. So whatever's gonna happen here, I gotta let Jesus work on Bree. I gotta let Bree work on Bree, and she made the right choice, right? And it's just relinquishing that. Just it's like, okay, God, she's yours. I can't control any of this, right? And it's the same thing. It's kind of the same thing for me with our ministry right now. It's like, all right, God, you know us, you know, he has our best interests at heart, right? So it's just trusting him. Really.
And that's the thing. The dice are going to fall where he determines they go anyway. That's you know what I mean? And so, you know, speaking of Bree, Clean Cause donates 50% of their net profits to addiction recovery. So not only do we love it, I know we beat that in the head, but I really drink a lot of these. And I'm not joking. Besides water, this is all you'll see me drink. It is for such a good cause that even though we get cases and we've been getting some of this, I still buy them, and my wife's like,
Yeah.
"You got more coming?" Because
Listen, daily they're showing up on my
because
doorstep. He's
either
like, I got you some
we're getting
collagen.
sent, either they're sending them to
Yeah.
us, or I'm getting them sent, or whatever, or
we
sending
believe
them
in
to
it.
somebody because I believe in it. So we love you, Bree, but support Clean Calls because it's for addiction recovery. But no, God determines where the dice
right.
are going to fall. So if you're out there in your life, maybe in a relationship, maybe in a marriage, maybe in a ministry, maybe in a job, maybe whatever the decision may be, you've sometimes got to roll the dice. You know, that's what God was telling me that day. I was like, God, what do you want me to do? And he brought me to this proverb. Right. And I was kind of saying, somewhere on the tattoo, I got dice on there right there. See that dice right there? But if you read these dice, which is so funny, they make seven no matter what way you look at it, which is completion. See that?
Number of completion.
Because when I got those, that's what it was. The number of completion is God was completing me. And he told me, he brought me to those dice on my arm, which what made me look up this to find it, is God's telling us, just roll the dice. Trust him. Roll the dice. Maybe
Stay the course.
Maybe it's something as easy as, well, I don't really want to give money to this ministry, you know, to help kids or, you know, this or that. Like Pastor Kevin, you know what I mean? Pastor Kevin goes up, gives everything. He goes over, you know, what is it? Venezuela, Nicaragua. Yeah, Nicaragua. Goes over there. Sorry, Pastor Kevin. Shout out to Pastor Kevin. He is a guy that used to call me when I was in the worst of my addiction. I'd be up all night, had not slept. All of a sudden, my phone would ring at 7 a.m. and say, Pastor Kevin. And he'd leave a message and say, well, I knew you wasn't going to answer, but God told me every time I go past your name to call you. And he would call me. And he's been a dear friend. And never forgot that. It makes me cry every time I think about it. And this is when everybody was jumping ship on me. And till this day, I'll think about him, or I'll be like, man, and out of nowhere, he'll go, hey, man, I know we ain't talked. I've been over here, been this. You guys are really grinding, and I'm proud of you. Like, you know, that's how important it was. You know what I mean? And
affirmation.
Yeah, it is. I mean, people like that believed in you. But going back to it, no matter what you're going through, sometimes you got to just roll the dice and step out, even if it's something like, I don't want to give to this ministry. Maybe God's telling you to give to that ministry so somebody will give to you. And not saying that's why you do it, but maybe if you don't trust, why should anybody trust you? Or maybe it's like, yeah, but I gave myself before to her. I went back and did this. Maybe that's the time. I felt like that with us. I was like, yeah, but we got back together and went to church last time, and it didn't really work out. Man, thank God that we gave it another chance.
An 8-ball a day. It's not going to work out.
No, but I'm talking about when we started working things out.
Just be for real. That's
well,
what
I
we're
know,
doing.
but I'm saying when we got back together, there was times we got back together and we really tried, and it didn't work out until we got into some good biblical counseling. But I mean, if we didn't roll the dice, God knew how they were going to fall.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It was trusting.
It's all,
which I think is so hard for us. As humans, you know?
Well, especially if you've been through some stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're going through it out there, throw the dice and let God determine where they fall, right? That's what we're doing over here at RelentlessHopeMusic.com. Like, subscribe, share. We're out of here. The next episode, we'll have special guests. You guys don't want to miss it.
Yes.
Mean it, miss it. Mean it, but don't miss it.
Any of the above.
And if you miss it, you didn't mean it. You know what I'm talking about? We love you guys. Like, subscribe, share. Stay relentless. Peace.